my friends, Chef Christian here. Today we're going to work on a cranberry sauce recipe for your holiday enjoyment. Cranberry sauce is super easy and way better when you do it than you buy it from the store. Alright, for our cranberry sauce we'll be using fresh cranberries. You can use frozen. If you use fresh like we're using, make sure and rinse those. We'll have brown sugar, water, butter, a gala or Honeycrisp apple, orange and pear. We have mace, cinnamon, and allspice today. In certain versions you can use just cranberries, a white sugar, and water, but this is the best way. Alright, for our first step we're going to break down our apple and pear. We use the apple and the pear, they both have pectin in them, which will help to thicken our cranberry sauce. Also, they got great holiday flavors. And then we're going to take 2 teaspoons of zest from this orange and a half a cup of the orange juice. So let's start with the apple. Skin on is okay. We're going to be blitzing this up. There's lots of nutrients. The main thing you want to remember on any fruit is make sure you give that a good wash on the outside so you're not taking any pesticides or any other fun stuff from the grocery store in there with you. We're just going to give this a dice. Doesn't really matter what size dice it is, you just want to keep them all the same so that they cook evenly. Of course, take out the nasty core, no seeds in there. So, in this case, we used a Honeycrisp apple, and we'll be using a Bartlett pear. The dice that I'm using about the same for the apple and the pear. That way they'll cook at the same rate. Okay. Apples and pears. Alright, next thing we need is some orange zest and juice. We'll have 2 tablespoons of zest. You can use a little zester or a microplane to get that. And then we'll squeeze some fresh orange juice. Pull about 2 teaspoons off here. You just want to get the orange part. If you're getting white, you've gone too deep. That's called the pith, and it's not delicious. In this technique, we get some long strands. I'm just going to chop these up so we get nice fine pieces. We are going to be running this through an immersion blender to get a fine finished product, so we don't need to worry about long strings. For the juice, don't want to get any seeds in there. We're just going to take about a half a cup of juice out of this. No sense in wasting your orange. But we've got everything prepped up. We're going to have a shallow pan here. It's going to start with 4 ounces or 1 stick of butter. We'll go in with our 1 pear, 1 apple, and the seasonings, and we're using a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of mace. This is my personal combination, which I like. You can totally omit these, and we will saute these up and let them soften and move on to the next step. We gave our apples and seasonings and butter a chance to come together a little bit. Next step will be basically all the rest of it. And what we're doing is creating a simple syrup with our sugar and water and the juices and the natural sugars that are already here in the cranberries, and we're just going to let that go until the cranberries burst. Let it go a couple minutes past that, and then we're going to blend it down a little bit with our immersion blender, and voila, cranberry sauce. So what we have here is 1 cup brown sugar, 1.5 cups of water, our zest and 1/2 cup of orange juice, and right here I have 24 ounces of cranberries. We're going to use about half, about 12 ounces of that. And back on the heat she goes. We'll take it up from there. Alright, cranberries are getting where we need them. They're mostly split and blistering. Our liquid is reduced. We're starting to pull together. Next step is we are going to blend this all up, and then one final simmer until it's right where we want it. Voila, cranberry sauce. Alright, next step, we're going to knock this down a little bit with our immersion blender. You can use a blender if you don't have one of these stick blenders. Just be careful with the hot liquid that comes out of the top. Bad Thanksgiving. Alright, here we go. Got this back on to finish simmering after we've blended up. You'll notice that there's some chunks in here. This is per taste. I like a little chunky, but if you take it all the way down to smooth, that's fine too. Just get a more jelly-like consistency. After this simmers down a little bit, we're gonna chill it for 24 hours, let all the flavors come together, and then we'll show you how it looks. Thanks for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed that recipe. Feel free to like and share this around, and if you'd like to see something made in the future, just drop us a comment and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.